Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Callahan. I'm going to talk to you today about balancing your number sentences. So whenever we're doing an addition or subtraction problem, when we're talking about number sentences, that's what we're talking about. That's just a new term that we have. So I'm going to show you what to do with this page. Keep in mind there's a lot of stuff on this. So if you find that it's easier to break it up, like do just a chunk of it at a time, I think that's the best idea. I'll put this right up here. So when I'm doing number sentences, one thing we have to remember is that it's kind of like a scale. So the part over here and the part over here have to be balanced. They have to have the same on both sides. So when I'm looking at something like 10 minus 8, just like that, I remember that on this side, if I do 10 minus 8, even if I do it with my fingers and I have 10 and I take 8 away, it's going to equal 2. So I know that 10 minus 8 is 2. So that means on this side, I have to have the number 2. Sometimes I have the kids solve this up above, just so they remember that over here is 2 and over here is 2. 10 minus 8 is the same thing as 2. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, but it is still doable, where I take and I will put the answer on this side. So I have a 2 over here. And then on this side, I just do 10 minus 8. And I tell the kids, this is the same thing. All I did was I just switched them around. And I even use that as a signal for them switching it. So when I'm doing this, this side and this side have to be balanced. They have to be the same thing. If I do another one over here, so the first thing I would do is I would do ones that are kind of simpler. So 10 minus 8 would be an easy one. 10 minus 3 would be an easy one to do. 8 minus 5 would be easy to do. And it would be helpful to get out pieces of cereal or little toys and actually putting them out and figuring out what 4 minus 3 is. So remember, when we're subtracting, we're taking things away. So I have 4. I'm going to take 3 of these away. That means they go away. They're done. Sometimes we say we ate them up. They're cookies. And I know that all I have left is 1. So I would write a 1 right there. Let's do one of the more difficult ones, but we can totally manage this. Over here on this side, they have a 3. And over here, they have something minus 1. Something minus 1. So this means on this side, it's going to equal 3. Over here is going to equal 3. Now, I can figure this out because I know that there's a number over here that if I only take away 1 away, it'll equal 3. So I would, if I was teaching this in class, I would say, think of a number that is a little bit bigger than 3. And if I took 1 away or I jumped back 1, it would become a 3. And so for this one, it would be the number 4. And I might even have my kiddos try to figure this out because I'd say, okay, I have 1 over here, and I know that I'm going to be taking that away. So here we go. So if I had 4 over here and I take 1 away, that's going to equal 3. Something you can do is allowing your child to make a mistake. That's a good way to figure this out. So if they thought it was going to be 5 over here, take away 1, you say to them, go ahead and try it out. So you take away 1, that equals 4. That's not what I want over here. So I have to make sure that I'm figuring this out a little bit differently. I know that 4 is what I'm going to start with. So that gets a little bit trickier, but it's still manageable. Let's try one more out. Let me erase those. I have on, let's see here. Let's do this one. I have 6, and I'm going to have something minus 2 right there. So on this side, I have to have 6. On this side, it has to be 6. So we have to figure this out. I am going to, let's see, let's do where we just try it out. Let's start out with 6. We're lucky these numbers are kind of smaller. So let's start out with 6. Let's pretend this might be 6. Let's take 2 of those away. If I take 2 of those away, I have 4. We can try that out. 4 minus 2 equals 2. I don't want 2 over here. I want to have it be 6. So I know this number is not going to be right. I don't have enough. Let's try this. Let's try 7. I have 7. So if I do this as a 7, I take away 2. That's going to give me 5. That's not what I want. So I know this has to be bigger. Let's try this one. I have 8 over here. Let's try 8 minus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I take 2 of those away. How many do I end up with? I have 6 over here. So I know this side of my scale is 6. This side of my scale is 6. If you have any more questions about this, or if there's one where you're having a rough time figuring out how to show your child, please let me know. But just remember, these can be switched, and you can even write them the other way. That's totally fine. But to remember that this side and this side have to be equal. They have to have the same amount on both sides. All right, I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.